Micro-realism as a tattoo style has risen in popularity like crazy over the last 5 years, and in this video I will take you on board the tattoo style and answer the question on whether they will last in 5 years. There are of course a few factors that plays a huge role in the ability for the tattoo to last over time. So let's dig into them. First one is the size. There's no doubt that the more details, the more compact you try to make a tattoo, the more vulnerable it is to fade out and to blow out and to look messy over time. But you can also do miniature tattoos at a larger scale, where you work with tiny details and a lot of details on a larger piece of skin. And this of course means there is a fine balance between what size and what amount of details you can go with. I would always say don't go too crazy on details. That's my personal opinion. Miniature tattoos can look amazing in various sizes, also in very small sizes, but it's very important to be careful about the amount of details you put in and how compact you make the design. Another very important thing to have in mind when you want to get a micro-realism or a miniature tattoo is the placement. The placement of the tattoo on your body is always important, no matter what kind of tattoo you're talking about. If you're looking to get a tiny tattoo with a lot of details, the placement is even more important. Why? It's simple. Placement has an impact on how the tattoo ages and how the tattoo basically ends up looking in 5-10 years or later into the future. So say you want to get a micro-realism tattoo with a lot of details, you don't want it too big. When you pick a placement for your miniature tattoo, it's important that you consider, is this a piece of my body or piece of skin that is going through a lot, that gets outworn, or is it a piece of skin or is it an area on my body that basically is always protected and stays the same. Simple tip, don't get a miniature tattoo on a placement like knees, like elbows or hands, or places that, gets in contact with surfaces, other material that you wash a lot and that basically gets worn over time. If I were to pick a placement for a miniature tattoo, I would pick like lower arm, inside biceps, thigh, could be back, it could be stomach or chest. Basically areas that doesn't get in contact with a lot of other things. It's also very important to consider a place that isn't flexible, that doesn't move a lot. That's back to the elbow. The skin on the elbow is like elephant skin. It's not good for tattoos. Another, and maybe the most important factor when you want to get a micro-realism tattoo, is the choice of tattoo artist. Why is that? I think it's pretty simple. Not every tattoo artist has the skill set or necessarily the experience to work with these kind of tattoos. So if you're looking for a tattoo with a lot of details in a tiny space, it's important that you find an artist that has the skills and that has experience and has that eye for details to do a tattoo like the one you want. Not to generalize anything, but just because you find an artist out there that does incredible work, say in black and gray or color or old school or something like that, it's not necessarily true that they will be able to do micro-realism tattoos. Look for someone that is an expert on it, go through their portfolio, ask, as always, ask too many questions, or at least not too little questions when you're talking to an artist or someone who's about to book you in. I would say look for the portfolio, ask for references, ask friends. Really, as always, do your research when it comes to picking your tattoo artist. I would say artist that does these micro-realism tattoos has to have an insane eye for details, because whenever they work in this tiny space, there's basically no room for mistake. You can't just touch up a line with a thicker outline or something like that. You really need to pay attention to details. So these are nerds that knows how to spend 8 hours on, say, an area like this on someone's skin. I think that's pretty damn cool. Most tattoo artists that does micro-realism tattoos, they basically work with a single needle configuration, which means that the cartridge or the needle they work with is just one pin, one needle. So to kind of make it simple, imagine that you're painting with a pencil. If it has a tiny pin, you can do thin, small lines. If it has a more bulky pin, you'll be thicker details. Last but not least, your lifestyle, the way you treat your body and yourself also has an impact on how your tattoos will look over time. And that's no matter what kind of tattoos. I will, however, say that miniature tattoos and tattoos that are very compact in amount of details, they are more vulnerable to a crazy lifestyle or to you not treating your tattoos well. Do take care of your body, because if your body is outworn and your system isn't on point, so won't your tattoos. The skin is the biggest organ on the human body, and of course if you fill your body with junk food, alcohol and crap and no water, your skin is gonna show that as well, and so will your tattoos. And basically, to sum it up, to answer my first question of the video, will miniature or micro-realism tattoos last over time and in 5 years? Maybe, it depends. Yes, they will if you go for the right size, don't go too crazy on how compact it is. You find the right artist to do it on the right placement of your body, and if you do take good care of your body. Of course, it's also important that the artist uses the right equipment, but I will say if you pick the right artist, he or she will also have the right equipment. If you do this, you're equipped for getting a nice micro-realism or miniature tattoo that will last over time, and you will be happy with it for the rest of your life. If you have any questions about any style, ask them below, because we would like to cover all kind of styles in terms of what to do in advance, while getting them, and after you get them. Remember to subscribe, click the like button, and see you next time. Take care of your tattoos. Bye.